What's going on, everybody? It's Butta. Story time with Butta. It's Wednesday, the 24th of May. My book, Butta, the First 15 Years. Okay, the back. I'm trying to keep my fingers in here so I could reference the book when I tell you the story. Anyway, I got some good news. I finally, I told you a couple weeks ago or a week ago, I got my sales report in. Well, I finally got it was only for 2 weeks in March. It's fucked up how they do this shit. So I got to wait till the end of fucking May to get the sales report that ended for March. So, or I got it like the end of the second week of May. So halfway through May to get a 2-week fucking sales report for fucking March. So now I got to wait 4 months for the next sales report, but at least that'll be probably for April, May, June. So that'll at least be for 3 months. But anyway, I sold like 50 something or 80 something fucking books between e-platform and the paperbacks. So for 2 weeks, I don't know, I guess that's good, but I did get my first paycheck from them, so of course they're skimming their top end. So I made like $154 and change, but you know what? That bitch is going up on the wall because there's always been a dream of mine to publish a book and actually get paid to write because I love to fucking write. So, and the other good news is I am writing a novel. It's something I started a really, really, really long time ago, like probably over 20 years ago. And I'm writing it as a fiction novel, but 90% of the content probably most likely really happened. So I'm just using different characters and stuff like that. But I'm putting the stuff that happened in a fictional layout of a motorcycle club that never existed, if that makes any sense. Okay. This book has absolutely nothing to do with the Wingman Motorcycle Club. This is from a really, really long time ago. And it's from a life I had before I became a wingman and even before Fierce Allegiance. So anyway, the good news is I sent the first 10 chapters in to my publisher and they love it. So that's a good thing. They're going to pick me up for this book as well. And this one's not going to, nothing's going to come out of my pocket to start this one up. So that's the good part. At least then when I start getting royalty checks, they should be a little bigger than the ones they are right now. Anyway, this story again, this was August 2008. My brother and I, Roy Willie, he was in Phoenix City, Alabama at the time, our chapter down there. And we met up on the road and we went on this epic 12-day fucking journey. I mean, it was one for the ages, man. If you never done something like that, do it. Do it, man. Just say fuck work for a couple of weeks and fuck everybody. Spend all your fucking money doing it, and just get out and you wake up in the morning and you look outside and you decide I'm going to go that way or I'm going to go that way or that way. And we had a really great fucking time, man. Really, really great time. It's something I'll remember the rest of my life. But I'm going to give you the story from this. There's a few of them in the book about that trip. This was how we ended it. We ended up riding out to Calhoun County, Alabama. It's a couple of 100 miles north of our Phoenix City chapter. And at the time we had an Opelika chapter back then too. And we went up there. They were freshly patched chapter. They were done with their probation period. And they were hosting their first big party. It is the old clubhouse on 10th Street. I don't know how many guys remember that clubhouse. Big fucking warehouse, man. It was fucking cool shit. It was so big that a lot of brothers used to put tents up in the back, And anyway, so they're having this big party, and I'm hanging out. At the time of this incident, I was hanging out with Ivan, Chopper, Ditch, Jake, Dirty Dick Dino, Fat Mike. I think that was it. Country was standing there too. So there's this dude, this civilian dude, local guy, about 6'2", about 200 pounds, scraggly looking. And he's drinking and he's talking with Ditch and he's talking with Jake and he's telling them that he was in the 75th Ranger Battalion. So apparently the 75th Ranger Battalion is a very prestigious thing to be in. And Ditch and Jake were, I guess, questioning him, like, asking him some stuff that he should obviously know if he was really in the 75th Ranger Battalion. It was evident he was definitely in the Army. I mean, he, you could tell by the shit he was saying that he served. He just probably didn't serve in the fucking 75th Ranger Battalion. So I'm reading my brothers, and I could see their, ditches getting ready to go Phoenix City Fight Club on them. So I step in. I was Regional Sergeant Arms at the time. I stepped in only because, not that I didn't want to see this fucking asshole get smacked around for being a fucking liar, but because it was Calhoun County's first fucking party, man. They were packed. They had like half the fucking town on the property and in the building. And it was around 9:30, 9 o'clock at night, somewhere around there. So it was just kicking off, man. And, nothing will fucking kill a party quicker than a civilian getting fucking stomped by a bunch of fucking patch holders. It's just going to kill your fucking party. And that's best case scenario. That's if everything goes as planned with that, because it's probably going to kill your civilian support, at least for a while. People aren't going to want to come around if they think they're going to go to your party and get fucking stomped. So I walked over and I'm like, hey, man, guys, give me a minute with this dude, man, So I introduced myself to him, and he's standing to my left, and bar's in front of me, and I'm facing him with my right elbow on the fucking bar. And so I said, hey, man, listen, it doesn't matter what you did in the military. I said, you served, man. I says, I was a Marine Corps reservist, I ain't got much to fucking talk about. So just, watch what you say to guys that this is their life, man. This is their career. This is what they do for a fucking living, 24/7, man, and most of them have already been doing it for well over 10 years at the time, And he's like, oh, I was this. And I said, listen, at this point, it doesn't fucking matter. They don't believe you. They want to fucking beat your head in. I really don't want to see that happen. I said, so I'm going to treat you like a man. Finish your beer. I'm going to walk you outside. I'll call you a cab, whatever. I don't know how you got here. I don't know if you rode a bike. I don't know if you walked here. I don't know what you did, but you got to go. But I'm not going to fucking make a scene and throw you out. Have a beer, Let's finish your beer and then I'll walk you out. He goes, well, what if I don't want to fucking go? And I know what it is, man. It's because I'm fucking short. Because when people are taller and they look down on the conversation, they automatically think they have the upper fucking hand. Not in this case. Not in most cases when it comes with me fronting you. Because I can fight. So I'm like, motherfucker, man. I'm saying to myself, so I'm trying to keep my zen. And I said, hey, man, listen, don't, take my kindness right now for weakness. I'm just trying to avoid a major incident. I don't give a fuck if they kick your teeth down your fucking throat, which they will. I says, but don't fucking sit here and get stupid with me thinking that this is your fucking easier way out, because it ain't going to work well for you, So he turns to the bar and he puts his hands out. He like stomps his hands on a bar and he takes a big deep breath, and then he turns again and he faces me and he goes, well, he puts his hands out and he's like, well, fuck you and fuck your bang. Straight right, night, fucking, it was over. He was all fucking Frankensteined up, snorting on the way down. And I remember Dirty Dick Dino was like diving in like a fucking dragon to go fucking put the boots to him. And Ivan stopped him. Ivan screamed, no, let it go. Butta ended it, and drag him outside. And to be honest with you, I mean, the place was mobbed, and it was like as low key as it could get for someone getting knocked the fuck out, because nobody made a big scene. Nobody, and because we stopped everybody, a couple of guys from jumping on the motherfucker, so very few people noticed what happened. And I think the people that did notice what happened actually heard what happened also and realized this guy was just, I think he went to that party looking to get punched in the fucking face. Anyway, so, they're dragging him outside, and I turned back to the bar and I grabbed my beer and I looked over, and the bar was a big L shape. And my friend Amy Wilson, she was sitting on the other end of the bar, and she's looking at me and she's smiling. She was dating my brother Ron Harris at the time, or at the time he was my brother too. But so anyway, and she just loves fights. So I tip my beer to her and I go to take a drink of my beer and I notice there's blood coming down my hand. I'm like, motherfucker, man. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but right here, there's a big fucking scar. Yeah, there it is. And I look, and his fucking front tooth is jammed in my fucking knuckle. Like, I mean, like 3/4 of it is buried in my fucking hand. And I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? I hit him straight right. I mean, I know I'm punching up, but I had my rings on and I missed him with everything. And it fucking buried that tooth right into my fucking hand. So I'm pretty sure it was Brother Elwood from Fayetteville and Jason Liggett from Fayetteville. They took me in the back room and they pulled the fucking tooth out and they disinfected and cleaned it with fucking moonshine that Mikey T had brought with them. And they bandaged me up. They gave me some of those the adhesive stitches, the fucking butterfly stitches. And because I remember Elwood saying he didn't want to stitch it up because in case it gets infected, there's a good chance I'm going to get an infection because it was a fucking tooth. So I said, I'm calling it a night. I got to get up. I got to ride a little over 900 fucking miles home the next day because all these trips, man, I did 1-day trips, man, 14 to 16 hours on the fucking bike. So I got to get up at like 03 anyway to get on the fucking road to get home in a decent hour and see my kids and, my ex-wife and shit. So I get on the fucking bike at 03 in my hand. I wake up, it's like the size of a fucking small baseball mitt, Kind of, at that time, it was kind of like a UFC mitt glove, Well, by the time I got to Pennsylvania, my last gas stop, it was a fucking baseball mitt. My hand was just swollen the fuck up. So I'm just thinking it's broke, there was no markings, no pus, no nothing, So I get home and, my ex-wife is like, what the fuck happened to you? And I'm like, I'm going to take a shower, take me to the hospital. So I go to the fucking hospital, and they take an x-ray. About 5 minutes later, man, a bunch of people come running in the room with this cart, and they're fucking laying me down, and they're putting this fucking IV in me, and all this shit. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And he goes, I got good news for you. Your hand's not broken. I'm like, cool. Well, obviously, there's bad news. What's that? He goes, you got a staph infection. I'm like, fuck. Most expensive punch I ever threw. I was in the hospital for 9 days. And I remember just laying there every fucking day, getting fucking antibiotics, getting people coming in and signing fucking, pieces of paper, making me sign piece of paper and, this and that. And then they were actually talking about like having to amputate my hand because they were afraid if the infection broke up at one time and it got in my bloodstream, it would fucking kill me because I don't know, whatever. I'm not a doctor, but that's what they were telling me. So, and it started getting better towards like day 7, day 8. And then New York, Rockland County was hosting nationals that weekend. So I'm like, Doc, I got to get the fuck out of here, man. I got a nationals, this weekend. He's like, you can't leave. You got to be here at least another 4 or 5 days. So, but it's not an option. I said, I ride all over the country to go to nationals. I've never missed one, and I'm not going to miss one now. That's right in my back fucking yard. So we settled on, they put a PICC line in under my armpit into my heart. And then I was giving myself ampicillin bags like three times a day. And I remember Tiny, he'll come up in a couple of stories. He was, of course, anybody named Tiny is really not tiny. And he was like 6'7", and he was a prospect then, so he was following me around the whole fucking weekend, holding my bag whenever I had to fucking juice up with it. But I remember leaving the hospital with this PICC line in, and they had it taped to my arm over here. And I had a wife beater on. I got stopped. I'm heavily tattooed, especially my from the waist up. And I got stopped by every security guard, every fucking doctor. They thought I was some drug addict trying to get out of the fucking hospital with an IV fucking line in me. But anyway, the moral of the story is don't punch anybody in the face. It's not nice, first of all. Okay? And second of all, if you are going to punch him in the face, don't aim for the fucking mouth, man. I mean, I hit him. It was a perfect shot, man. I mean, perfect. It was lights out for this motherfucker. I hit him square right here. But I guess that angle coming up because I'm vertically fucking challenged. I just missed my rings, missed everything. It was fucking hilarious, man. But anyway, made for a good story in a book. Funny story, too, about, oh my God, it had to be 12 years later. I was in Huntsville, Alabama, at our chapter there, and a brother from Calhoun, Bo, was like, hey man, I fucked this dude up the other night at bite night, and he was complaining that some dude named Butta beat him up like 10 years ago. It was the same fucking guy. It's like, he knocked my tooth out. So anyway, I guess the guy's like a career fucking idiot, and he just likes getting punched in the face by patch holders. So anyway, that's it, guys. That's all I got. Again, the book, please. Cool thing on the sales report I got is they give me the demographics of where it's selling. And props, Australia, thank you. 28 sales. UK, 22 sales. And Germany was, I think, 20 or 22 sales also. So hitting that whole outside of the United States thing, man. And I dig that. And I thank you for your support, man, because I buy a lot of books from people I have no idea who they are, but they're in our life, you know, in our lifestyle. So I want to support someone trying to do this and trying to get their whether it's an information book, an autobiography, whatever. I like to just learn. You know, you learn about what other people are doing and how other clubs are running, and you know what other clubs are doing, and it's cool shit. So thank you. I appreciate that. And if you bought the book, please leave a review on the platform that you bought it from. That means a lot, that whole algorithm thing and all that. And if you haven't bought it, man, it's a good read. It really is. It's a good read. You'll enjoy it. I know you will. So please help a biker out. And I don't know if I said this earlier, but my publisher is going to pick up my novel, and trying to get that fucking finished up. So we're doing the whole camping thing now, long weekends and stuff. So I should get some quiet time, work on the fucking computer a little bit, and hopefully bang out some chapters in that. Man, I've been working on that for man. It's gotta be over 24 years, because in 2 weeks I start in 3 weeks I start my 25th year at the plant, and I know I started this before I started working for Passaic Valley. So it's got to be 24 years ago, and the characters in it are all real people, man. You know, they're real people. They're people in my life. I just put everything that we did together in a motorcycle club format, and it wasn't necessarily a motorcycle club back then, that format, but everything in there, it will be true except for the parts that aren't. I like saying that. My lawyer came up with that for me. So plausible deniability. But anyway, that's all I got, folks. See you next week. Thanks for the support. I love it. I was so excited to get that sales report. So excited to get that first fucking paycheck, even though it couldn't get me a lap dance in Jersey. But it's a dream. It's one of those bucket list checks, man. I'm a published author, and I actually got paid. Even if it's just a little bit of money, I got paid. So I'm pretty excited about that. So love yous. God bless you. God bless America. God bless our troops. God bless Donald Trump. And listen, man, stand up to all this bullshit going on in the world. I know it's not just the United States that's having this crazy fucking retards out there talking stupid shit about wanting to be a cat and a dog and all that, lopping your cock off and shit. So listen, man. And if you're one of those listening to this, buy the book before you bash me. But I ain't buying into none of your bullshit, man. So the world is a crazy fucking place right now, man. Let's try and keep it as sane as we can. Love yous. Again, God bless you. God bless America. God bless our troops. And God bless Donald Trump.